Okay, Ryan Sinet here. Happy Juneteenth 2023, everyone. University can be really expensive, so if you're gonna go, you may as well squeeze those lemons. Since it's so expensive, you really want to get everything you can out of it. So today I'm going to give you 4 tips that you can use to help get the most out of university. My first tip is to build a healthy lifestyle. Now that includes both fitness and nutrition. Maybe you played sports in high school, maybe you even did a little bit of weightlifting, some running, but when you get to college, you're going to be off on your own for the most part, and you're going to have an opportunity to define what the rest of your life is going to be like. A lot of people go to college, and unfortunately, this amount of freedom, you start going to fast food, you start kind of not taking care of your body, not really dialing in your nutrition, not really working out, because why would you? And that can be a big detriment both on your health, your ability to focus as well. And when you go to university, there's actually an opportunity to learn about some of this stuff. You're going to get to set your own schedule, maybe for the first time in your life. There's going to be courses offered that you could potentially take that you could learn how to get into weightlifting, you could learn how to get into running, and all other kinds of activities in sports. At most universities, you're probably not going to learn much about nutrition. I know when I was in high school in California, they taught us some stuff and blah, blah, blah. But that didn't really stick. It didn't really connect and probably wasn't even accurate information. My suggestion to you if you're in college is to spend some time on the internet, find reliable sources of information, and learn about nutrition. So I suggest you learn a little bit about it every day. There's apps you can use on your phone. There's programs you can find on the internet. But ultimately, as you build up your knowledge about this, it'll be something that builds a habit that enables you to eat and make healthier choices in general. And that's going to lead to you feeling better in general, being able to focus more, just being healthier and feeling better overall. A lot of people do go to university. They maybe put on a bunch of weight. They don't really pay heed to this. And when you're young and you're healthy, you don't really notice the consequences of this. But as you get older, even into your 30s and especially beyond, this stuff really starts to take a toll on your body, and it makes you just not feel the way you used to feel when you're young. So build that habit while you're young. The second tip I'll give you is to understand your priorities and to make decisions based on your priorities. Depending on what school you go to, how much work you have, how many opportunities present themselves to you, you're going to have to make some decisions. You're going to have to drop some balls. So I figure if you're going to have to drop some balls, you should be judicious and deliberate about which balls you're going to drop. If you're taking 3 courses and one of them is much more important to you than the others, you should really prioritize the learning from that course over the other courses. So if it comes to a point where you have to make a decision of which homework assignment you're going to do, pick the one that's more important to you. Now, that being said, generally speaking, if you spend enough time working during the week and you don't wait till the last minute on stuff, you should be able to get stuff done with no problem. There might be a couple weeks that are more busy than others, but in general, there's usually enough time available. It's just that most kids college age don't tend to plan that well, don't tend to use their time effectively. So understand your priorities. It is critical, because if you don't understand your priorities and act accordingly, you're not going to get the best outcome for what you're looking for. The third tip is to get organized and stay organized. And there's many different systems to do this. I happen to like a book called Getting Things Done by David Allen Coe. But basically what you want to do is have some way where you're going to write down every next action that needs to be done, every follow-up, everything you're tracking. And you need to review this regularly to make sure things don't slip through the cracks. You should, if you're not already, you should be using a calendar, and you should know when things are going to be due. And, when you have certain meetings, and if something's going to take a long time, you should plan it out into milestones, and you should follow your progress along those milestones to make sure you get everything done on time. Now, if you don't get everything done on time, it's not the end of the world. You're going to feel bad, but that's just a feedback mechanism, and you should feel a little bad. That'll help you get better the next time. But just look at it as a learning experience. You're experimenting, and you're finding tactics that are effective for you in terms of being able to get everything done in your life. The fourth and final tip I'll give you is to take control of your time. You have certain things you want to achieve. There's a certain amount of time, and another way to look at it is you have certain ways you want to spend your time. So if you don't decide how you want to spend your time and then track yourself to make sure you're spending your time effectively, and it can be the most simple way, like I want to spend 4 hours studying for this class a week. If you don't actually track that and get that feedback and review it and make sure you're on track, then you're not even you're gonna end up spending your time, whatever random opportunities present themselves. It bears mentioning that you should consider the idea of exploration versus exploitation. So if you have a plan that you think is, pretty reliably going to get you where you want to go, that's great. Maybe you should follow it 80% of the time, but the other 20% of the time, maybe you should explore a little bit. Exploring is a really effective way to learn new things. When you're, following your plan and doing things the way you know how to do them, that's great. You're going to get known results, but you could maybe get better results by things you don't even know about. And so by exploring, you're really giving yourself the opportunity to bring on new ideas. And, bringing on new ideas is really what university is about. So those are the 4 high-level tips that I have for you in terms of how to get the most out of university. I didn't really go into too much detail or really give that many examples. So kind of take what I've said, think about it, try to apply it to your life. Leave some comments below. Do you have any other useful tips? Or how do these tips actually apply to your life and your college experience? Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Thanks again for watching.